Martin, thank you for joining us. How do you look back on Saturday's defeat to Exeter City after what was an ideal start?
How do I look back on it? I thought it was a very disappointing performance that we put in. I thought we played very well for half an hour. The players looked nice and positive. We were tenacious. We got at them. We didn't create too many chances. It was a much better start than what we had been doing. The goal that we conceded came at a difficult time, and it seemed, well, clearly knocked the wind out the sails of our players. And in the second half we were second to the ball. We didn't win any headers. We looked slow, lethargic, lacking confidence, and it was a very disappointing afternoon. Of course, the players didn't set out intentionally to, not play so well. There were a couple of individual errors that cost us dearly, especially the one at 2-1. But they're a decent bunch of players. They're good players and they're good people, and it's certainly a low point for me, certainly. But it's my job now to help them get going again, make a few changes, I think, to freshen up the team and bounce back.
What, in your view, went wrong in the second half?
Oh, crikey. For some reason we didn't get going. It's very difficult to put your finger on that, but confidence looked low. We looked low in confidence, and we just didn't play with our normal way, which is obviously very disappointing. Now we have to make some changes.
Josh Vickers wasn't in the match day 18 on Saturday. What can you tell us about that?
Josh had a hip flexor injury, so he wasn't available. And Ali Cisse also, he was sick the night before, so he couldn't play.
Jamal Campbell-Rice came off with a hamstring issue early in the second half. How is he doing?
Knee ligaments, not hamstring. He was okay at half time, he was feeling it. And then you could see even just in a couple of minutes, even on the warm-up when they went out in the second half. And of course that's another blow, losing a player after just 2 minutes into the second half, and a good player as he is. So that was also another knockback for the team, for him having to come off. And that's just one of a number of players and injuries that we've picked up. We've had to scale down the training, of course, to protect the players and look after the players, and as much as you want to sort of tear into them, rip into them, at the moment they need help, they need support, and they need looking after. We've got to rebuild that confidence here on the training ground and get it back going. And we've been there before. Here at Barnet, when I've been here, we've had that game early on when we played Halifax and we got absolutely smashed. And then that game against Kidderminster in that championship year, where I made that change at half time, and we drew 3-3 after being 3-0 up, was another massive low. And of course last year when we played Newport County in the FA Cup, it was a particularly disappointing performance and a horrible day, especially in such a special competition. So these things are part of the job, and it's how you deal with, how you cope with, how you manage through these times. What makes you what you are.
Without undermining the impact of the guys who've come into the team, you are missing some very important players. Michael Gash, James Pearson, Sam Toggle and Elliot Johnson both missed out on Saturday. They would be pillars of the team normally. That can't be overstated, can it, the fact that they've missed out for periods now?
Yeah, that is a factor. Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, that is a factor. But it's my job to mould the players and mould the group. And it's no excuse. Let's not let's face up to the facts. Those players not playing, yes Gash, yes Togwell, yes Vickers, yes Johnson, yes Pearson, yes they are all characters, yes they are all leaders, yes they are all important players, but I don't think there's a Barnet fan or me as a football fan, you want to see your team tackling, running, playing with a fighting spirit, and if you do that, you can take whatever. If you pay your money, you want to see your team having a go, and on Saturday afternoon in the second half I don't think we had a go. So it don't matter whether they're playing or the lads coming into the team are playing. Every player that's got to play in our shirt has got to give everything. I think they did, but we were sadly lacking on Saturday afternoon.
Those injuries taken into account, in previous seasons you might have been able to go into the loan market and take someone on loan, as you did with Josh Clark last year, who made a big impact. Haven't got that option this year. Does that make your life harder, or does it make it easier as much as you know who you've got to work with through until the winter?
Most of those loans I took last year, I don't think done that well anyway. So Josh Clark done well for a few games, and he was exciting, done really well. The rest of them didn't do a great deal. We've invested, the chairman's invested in a development squad and a group of players, and you're going to start seeing them.
Saturday was the 125th game of your latest spell with the club. How do you reflect on your time here as a whole since you returned in 2014?
I suppose it's a good question, probably better for me to answer that on another day. My head is totally just fixed on my team right at this moment. I didn't enjoy that on Saturday and it hurts. So my job is to get these players ready. 125 games and a couple of 2.5 years or whatever it is. It has been good, there's no doubt about that. Taking them to building that team for the championship, finishing as high as what we did last year in the league, which is the highest for God knows how many years. But now it's the next challenge, and we're right in the middle of it. The first 6 games of the season we started very, very well. I thought we looked really bright and sharp in pre-season, and the last month some of the performances have been okay, some of them have been very good, and some of them are nowhere near the standard that we need. So there's work to be done, and I suppose this is what I enjoy best, really.
And finally, the FA Cup first round draw was last night. Shrewsbury away, struggling in the division above. What do you make of that draw?
We're struggling in this division, they're struggling in that division. Anything can happen in the FA Cup. It's a long way away yet. There's more games to be played, and all our focus has only got to be totally on Saturday's game.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Martin.